Welcome to the most extreme ranking challenge.
Hi, and welcome to a Most Extreme Ranking Challenge bonus episode. We're going to be doing some anime theme things today, which we actually do relatively often, but hey, we never get tired of it. But as you can tell, I'm not joined by my normal co-host. There's no Anna, Lamar, or Matt. Instead, we have these beautiful people, these way more beautiful people. We have Justine.
Hello.
We have Khoki.
What up?
We have Noelle.
Hello.
And we have JK.
Hey.
Well, however you want to be. I don't know. What do you go by publicly?
Hey. Yes, I go by yes. Whatever the hell you want.
That's what I'm paying you for. But yeah, today we're gonna be ranking the top 3, bottom 2 anime villains. There's a lot of anime villains I have come to realize after a few Google searches, and yeah, I'm so excited to dive into this. We're going to be doing, like I said, the top 3, and our judges for the top 3 are going to be at number 3, Khoki, number 2, Justine, and number 1, Noelle. And then for the bottom 2, the judges will be JK at number 2, and me for number 1, the worst anime villain of all time. Can't wait to hear what you guys have to say. But now that I've been talking, we're going to go on to round number 3 for the third best anime villain of all time. And since I've been talking, I'll just keep going because none of you guys have been on the show before, so I might as well start this off with, there is a super villain, and he is a super villain who is like so beloved by like not only people of the anime who are fans of the anime, but just like I feel like just anime in general. Like everybody knows this character. They're iconic as hell. They have 3 different forms, and everybody always remembers 2 of the 3. Nobody remembers the middle one, and as they shouldn't. And he also just won't die. And he's purple, he's white, and he's Frieza from Dragon Ball Z. I love Frieza, but also he's just so epic. But I think there's a couple better than him, and that's my shot. That's my yeah.
Ooh. So, and this is for best, right? Or is this
The third best? Yeah.
the third best? All right. Wait, Koki's judging this one, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, and then at this point, we basically either agree or disagree with you, or try to convince Koki otherwise.
Well, you're gonna say your pick, who you think deserves to be in that spot.
Justine, you go next.
Okay, cool. So, if y'all listen, if anyone here has listened to our Noelle is in my podcast in the past, Fandom Femmes, you will know this. But for those of y'all who have not listened before, now you know. I don't watch very much anime. Period. So my selection is not as up to date as say like other people's might be, but I did come prepared. So my pick for third best anime villain, because yes, it is an anime. I'm picking Azula from Avatar: The Last Airbender because so criteria for best for me is like who is like the most evil or like the best person, but like who's the most like complex. So I feel like there's like a lot of complexity within Azula's arc, because if you boil it down to like, yeah, she did some like really, really like shit. Hold on. Pause. Can I curse?
Oh, absolutely, 1,000%.
Okay, cool.
Lamar Harris is on this show. You can absolutely curse.
So yeah. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, so over the course of Avatar: The Last Airbender, Azula did some pretty shitty things. Like, she literally tried to kill everybody at one point. But if you boil it down and if you strip away and if you zoom in on the psychological trauma, the daddy and mommy issues that she had growing up, the fact that she was only 14 years old and still coming into her adulthood and her identity and being thrust into this immense position of power, of course she's gonna mess up royally, you know what I mean? She's a freaking child. And she's powerful as heck. So yeah, it was my third place.
Noelle, you want me to go next?
I mean, I would have
Yes.
gone with Sparky, Sparky, Boom, Boom, but that's just me.
Sparky,
Sparky,
Boom,
Boom.
Man.
Yeah. Sparky, Boom, Boom.
More
Okay. Frieza and Azula are okay picks for third, I would say, but I'm just gonna say, you guys don't know Khoki, and it just worked out perfectly that he's judging my third best, because my third best villain is Biking Man from Man series. The reason being, when I was a kid, I watched the Korean version, so he was Man to me. And I remember sitting in my cousin's room watching Man and seeing this creepy little cavity germ showing up and just ruining food for me. I was there and I'm like, oh, great. I can't eat food now because I'm going to get cavities and you're going to infect my food and I'm going to eat, Biking Man. So for giving me lots and lots of trauma as a child and making me brush my teeth, which no kid wants to brush their teeth. So I think Biking Man did a really good job at making kids brush it. Wait, that makes him... Yeah, it makes him the third best villain because he's not that good of a villain because he made kids brush their teeth. But he did ruin food for me, so that's all. That's all I need to say.
God, what is this?
I don't know.
Have you seen a picture of him?
Yeah,
He's a little germ.
Oh, I love.
He's just a good germ.
Yeah, he's he's the anti Man. He's just
Man is pretty much a kid show about a bunch of food. And then Man is like a bread. Inside it has like a red bean in it, so that's like the hero. He's the hero.
Oh,
and then along his side of his other friend.
He looks like the gingerbread man from Shrek, but he's a superhero.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Pretty
But
much.
Biking Man is
adorable.
A cavity germ.
Why didn't I have this?
It's legit like a children's anime, like for babies. Like
I had that terrifying cartoon where it's like the plaque or like have this drill and they're terrifying. They just say we make holes in teeth like over and over again, and it's like it was so scary.
Along the same concept, it ruined my childhood. So,
but he looks adorable. How did he? What? He has like the little two antennas, and he just he's like in his little devil tail. It's so cute.
Yeah, but he gave me like guilt. Food guilt. Every time I eat, my teeth are gonna get ruined. Like,
oh yeah.
Wait,
yeah.
Can I say something? JK, when you were talking about this character and you said, yeah, like he's a cavity, I was like, oh, and then you said, oh, on your teeth, and I'm like, oh, I was thinking of a different kind of cavity.
Oh no, no! He said,
I want that anime.
Just a big gaping hole.
I'm so sorry.
Wait, isn't that just Sword Art Online? I'm so confused.
No. If you're talking about its storyline. oh, I'm just looking at it. Amazing.
Can we change like a plot hole to just a cavity now from now on? Like when we describe a plot hole in anime?
Yeah.
Or the third worst villain. The third worst villain in any anime is a plot hole.
That's a good one too.
Ruining, right?
That is good. I would like us to, for now on, talk about plot holes as cavities, and the subtitle is a gaping hole.
Gaping hole.
Plot cavities, gaping hole. Gotcha.
Yeah. Plot cavity, gaping hole. Yeah.
Did you see One Punch Man season 2? God, that gaping hole was terrible.
Gaping hole.
How many more cavities could they fit in that show?
I love how Khoki.
Oh my god.
Okay, so my third best anime villain. I don't know, Khoki, if you watched this anime, but Kyubey from Madoka Magica. Okay, spoilers. This entire thing is spoilers. Fuck
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so if you haven't watched Madoka Magica, so the whole thing is how do you become a magical girl? If you have to make a contract with this little fluffy guy who looks hella cute, and he's like, he can talk to you telepathically, so he's in your fucking mind. And he's like, oh my god, be a magical girl and can do all kinds of shit. And then I'm gonna grant you a wish, but in return, I'm gonna. I honestly kind of forgot, like something about
You
your
have to
life
sell your
force.
soul.
Your
Yeah.
soul,
You
your
sell
soul.
your
You
soul.
literally sell your soul. Okay, so like the whole thing is that like, wait. So Koki, have you seen this?
No, but I just googled the image of Kyubey, and she's adorable.
Yeah.
Right? Adorable. Not.
I've seen this.
so-
I've seen this cat in memes, and yeah, things
Yeah.
don't end well in those memes.
Doesn't Kyubey also sound really similar to Demon?
Yeah, like Kyubey. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So okay. So essentially, what happens is that like the whole premise is that they need magical girls to fight like I'm forgetting the word for it because I haven't watched it in a while, but to fight like the evil beings, right? Like that apparently they lost their soul, right? So they have magical girls fighting these beings, and that's their whole purpose. But come to find out, the magical girls are actually fighting past magical girls that lost their soul to Kyubey. So it's like an endless cycle of like just like creating magical girls to kill magical girls that they took their soul from. And the whole thing is just like Kyubey is actually or Kyubey, sorry, is from like another planet, and they're just like, oh, we just do this for fun, like we just came down here to Earth and and they do it on other planets, and they're like, yeah, we do this for fun, because y'all are like so, what is it called? Like unintelligent, and it's just cause
Evolved.
yeah, unevolved. They're like,
Yeah.
like y'all, like we're trying to understand human emotions, because like obviously it hinders y'all from being smart. So that's who
Kyubey
I
is-
chose.
So Kyubey
Did
is
we-
essentially Nyan Cat's is like antagonist then.
Yeah, essentially.
do we have rebuttal rounds? Do we have?
Absolutely, 1,000%.
Who wants to go first? Because I've
mean-
written all your.
I mean, some cats just want to watch the world burn, but like, I don't think that they're. I don't know. I feel like he's too cute, or she.
But that's
They're
exactly
too
what-
cute.
Kyubey wants to watch the world burn, whereas Frieze wants to freeze the world, right? But I'm gonna say Kyubey is Koki. Kyubey is not a good choice. You haven't seen it, but Kyubey actually makes the case and says the energy in the universe is running out, and the most valuable source of energy is going from happiness to sadness. You have despair, and the people who have the most despair, he's saying, are teenage girls. So they hire out these teenage girls to produce this despair for them, and to like basically lose hope. And that's what they're feeding off of. So technically, and Kyubey says his whole species, they have no emotions. They don't understand emotions. So he lays out, he says, this is your contract. You're giving us your soul, and you have to harvest energy. And at the end, he goes, oh, we didn't think we needed to tell you that it involved despair, and we didn't think we needed to let you know that it involved you potentially becoming a witch, because...
Oh yes, witch.
Yeah, he says, you are so weak. You humans and your emotions don't make sense to us. He goes, this makes sense. Wouldn't you rather be like a cow that gets fed on a pasture every day and then gets slaughtered, and it's just a little bit of pain for a lifetime of safety? And Kyubey makes a really good case. And so when I watched it, I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, this is good. This makes sense. So I don't think Kyubey is a good choice.
Thanos did nothing wrong.
In terms of good, are you talking about all the things and their intentions obviously are fucking terrible. So what makes them not a good villain? This is so interesting because we're talking about villains, so it's like
a
what's
weird double
good
negative.
villain?
Right?
Yeah. So since you literally explained how, I mean, so you agreed with the tactics, but like, does that make them?
Yeah, for me, I
bad
want the
villain?
villain to. I want the villain to make me think holy crap, I don't understand a goddamn thing you're doing, and I can't have you exist in my own universe. You don't make sense to me. Is to me the best kind of villain.
So it seems like the fear in villains for you is not understanding their intentions.
Or just being a like having
Like
no
psycho.
logic behind it. Yeah, just psychopathy, right? Just a villain that will go out and just kill everybody, and you ask them why, and they don't give you an answer or a good answer. They just say, "I wanted to." I think that's a good villain.
I
Keep
just wanna
that. Oh
say
wait, no, I'm ranking for worst villains, so never mind.
I just want to say I don't think Azula should win because Azula reminds me of my younger sister who was just better at everything than me and would beat the crap out of me. Just kidding. No.
Yeah, and I'll say one. Yeah, Azula is. You feel sorry for Azula at the end. Like, I don't think there's anybody who watches the show and doesn't understand where Azula's coming from, and therefore, I don't think she makes a good villain. Obviously, we're contending for third place here, but
I still think
she failed.
You know,
she failed.
I mean, Catwoman is still a villain, but she does a lot of great things for Gotham. You know, and I don't know if anybody watches like Pro ZD videos, but I love the thing where it's just like, when he was just like, yes, when he was like, yeah, but I poisoned the water. It was like, actually, thank you for that, because now we figured out that security to the water supply was actually was very lacking. So now we know in the future. I love that one.
Everything that he did is just like they're like, oh no, actually that really helped, and he's like, ah.
Yeah. Oh man. All right,
Koki. Do you have anything to say, Justine, about Azula?
I was just going to reiterate that like my criteria for what makes a best villain or like a better villain is it's not based on like them in the world or in the universe. It just it's based on like my like what's it called the experience that is had like watching their story unfold. I empathize with Azula. That's why I chose her as like one of the best villains to watch their story unfold. Period. So that's what I'm ranking on. But yes,
I'd agree with I agree with you because I mean that's why I love Harley Quinn. So Yeah. But period. Yeah. All right, Khoki, do you need a reminder of who you're who you had to pick from, or do you know already?
Frieza, we have Azula, we have Baikimon, and then we have Kyubey. Am I correct? Is that my 4 choices?
That is correct.
Yes, but also just letting you know, Frieza is basically a lamer version of Cell.
It's not wrong.
I'm JK.
But he talks like this, and everybody remembers him.
There are, out of these 4 characters in these 4 animes, I consider them one of them not an anime, unfortunately. Sorry, Justine. I don't consider Azula Avatar an anime.
Oh wow!
Great cartoon. Love the cartoon.
Shots fired.
Amazing. Love it.
I
love the
disagree
show.
with this sentiment.
You have to what? Disagree?
That's another. That's another.
Welcome to our new show where we try to convince Khoki that Avatar: The Last Airbender is anime.
I wrote a thesis paper about this.
Anime existentialism. Here we go.
But I love Avatar. It's one of my favorite cartoons. But anime, I do not think it is. I also haven't seen 2 out of the remaining animes left, so I don't know much about Madoka Magica, as well as I know it's shocking. I've never seen Dragon Ball.
I mean that's okay, but you know who Frieza is, though.
I know what he looks like, but that's about
it. Mewtwo.
He looks like Mewtwo. That's about it. That's all I know.
He looks like Mewtwo.
Which makes it better. Just kidding.
Growing up, I did really like watching Ampamang. I didn't really get to watch it when I was a child because I was raised a little more American. But I wish they kind of showed me more of Ampamang. So I watched it more when I was like in middle school, while I was like low-key with the other baby childs and getting babysatted with them, and they would play it. So that was my history. That was my my way of knowing what Ampamang was. So I did like Baikimon. was not the greatest villain. Um, that's why it's kind of hard for me to just choose one because
Yep.
I wouldn't rank Baikimang up there that high. So in the end, I think I'm just gonna have to end up picking Kyubey because she's so cute, and and knowing that the cuteness, but then also she's like bad bitch crazy, like that's that's evil. Like I'm going to have to pick that one as my third.
Wow! Yay!
Wow, it's
Thank-
like who I'm cosplaying.
Yeah.
The evil.
Yep.
Keep
um,
evil.
Kyubey
if
turns good later.
Yeah. Also, for our audience, if you have any complaints of what Khoki said, please email us at elonmusk@spacex.com. We'll accept all emails and look at them thoroughly. That's
I'm
Elon Musk
Japanese.
at
I said what I said.
spacex.com. Anyway, we're gonna go on to round two, and with Justine as our judge. And Khoki, would you like to go first since you didn't get a pick last round?
All right. So I don't want to go first, but is this second
The
best?
second best. Second best.
Okay. I want to go last actually.
Okay. Anybody want to go first?
I can go first.
Absolutely.
All right. So if you want the second best villain on my list of anime villains, all you have to think of is the literal metaphorical symbol of the atomic bombs that dropped on Japan, which to me is going to be from the anime movie Akira. It's going to be Tetsuo. If anybody's watched Akira, Tetsuo is this young, feisty, he's like the younger brother of this bike gang and refuses to refuses to accept that there is authority over him. He's a little dick, right? So he is, I believe, from when I watch it, I get like very like, imperialist Japan vibes, how they thought they couldn't lose to anybody, yada da da. And then that hubris ends up being Tetsuo's downfall. He ends up getting, he flies a little too close to the sun, let's say. He ends up getting these powers that basically let him become a god. And instead of doing anything good with them, he goes out and just fucks everyone up. Yeah? And then that ends, in turn, basically turns him into a giant, if you watch the movie, he turns into a giant cancer blob that just consumes the city. He turns into this giant thing, and he consumes the city, and all because of his undying rage and his need for power. So I believe Tetsuo from Akira gets a good second place, because he's still, to me, I still understand it. I'm like, yeah, but he's still a complete dick, and he's not likable throughout the entire movie.
I didn't even think of anime films, so shit. I mean, oh man.
Does that
Okay.
count as an anime cookie?
No, that's.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh,
that's
JK,
awesome.
I really thought you were gonna leave it at like, oh, my second anime villain are the bombs that landed
Yeah.
on Japan.
I was like, that got dark
Ghibli,
fast.
The Grave of the Fireflies, the atom bombs.
The atom bombs, and their names
Which,
were.
I believe this is another topic, but I think that movie is overrated.
Yeah,
I
it
love
was
that
kinda-
movie.
it was
I love
kinda
that
slow
movie,
for me.
but I think I only needed a one watch. I love the movie. I just never watch
I'm
it.
not gonna watch it
Actually,
again.
my second worst villain is the lid on the can that the sister couldn't open. That lid was a dick. Biggest villain in the movie.
Khoki,
Oh my
would you
god.
like to go next?
No. I want to
Okay.
go last. Please.
Okay. Why don't you go, Noelle?
Okay. So my second best. I don't know why, but before I thought of Kyubey, all I kept thinking about like, oh, the best villains, and I kept thinking about like the hottest villain.
Welly.
Well,
Love that.
Justine is my judge. Anyway, so I know for sure you haven't watched Bleach, but the main antagonist is Aizen, Sosuke Aizen. Hold on. So essentially,
Sorry,
the
I
whole
just looked
thing.
him up. Okay, continue.
Okay, perfect. Because I was going to show you a photo. um, so essentially, he what implanted himself into the Soul Society's like soldiers rankings, and was known as the most pacifistic like captain of the Soul Reapers, and essentially there are a lot of things going wrong in like so the whole thing is like Soul Reapers, and then there's like hollows, right? And the hollows are essentially people who moved to the afterlife, but then if they had like regrets or like a lot of like anger, like you become like hollows, um, and they attack people in the real life. And so Soul Reapers go to the I won't say real world, but human world, and they kill those hollows to protect the humans. And so essentially, there's like a lot of like weird shit going on with the Soul Society and the human world. And come to find out that in the end, his uh, Eisen was the mastermind behind the entire thing. And so like a bunch of like the Soul Reapers were like getting cold essentially, and yeah, so Eisen, it's really funny. So the entire time he wears glasses and wears his hair down, and then when he finally reveals himself, like 500 episodes later, um, they were all he did was slick his hair back with like a little dingaling in the front, and then take off his glasses, and then he's hot. And so it was like, um, and then and then listen. So
Am I hot now?
yes,
Am
You need
I
a
hot?
dingling in the front.
yeah,
Oh,
you
wait.
need a dingling there. Thank you.
Am I
Damn.
hot?
Damn. Okay, so essentially, his Bankai, which is like their power, they have like a regular sword power, but then their Bankai is like the elevated version of it. Normally, essentially like Naruto, like there's chakra, and they get burnt out if they use it for too long. But this dude's Bankai was like being able to like control minds, and the really iconic thing for him to say was that like um they were saying like I couldn't, like no one knew what his Bankai was, and so they're like we couldn't even tell you were using your Bankai. He was like, my Bankai was never off. So this dude had his Bankai activated his entire life, and then was like controlling people's minds in the Soul Society so that he can have his way and like have the Hollows rise up and like create a new world. Anyway, he's hot. That's all.
Out of all that evilness, the hotness is why he's the second best. Okay. Khoki, would you mind if I go next?
Absolutely, please do.
I'm so excited to say mine. Okay. So, Justine.
Huh.
Okay. So we've had a lot of bad dads in anime, in comics, and everything. But I'm gonna tell you just straight up, this is the worst dad of all time. Show Tucker, I yield my time.
What did she say again? Edward? Edward.
So
Wow, that's all you need.
I guess maybe also a hottie with glasses. I don't know. But
I'm dead.
My goodness.
but yeah. So there you go. Khoki, and Khoki.
Go ahead, Khoki.
Why would I
Wait,
go
so why
after
do you
that?
think
Like,
he's
that's
second?
rude.
Why would he be second? Whatever.
Oh,
Okay.
I have one that it's like I was gonna change it, but I was like, no, it has to be this. It has to be. So
Okay. Well, for mine, I was kind of figuring out which one I would go with, but I think I'm gonna go with, even though I haven't seen the anime in its entirety, we all kind of have that feeling. Um, Orochimaru is pretty like ridiculously crazy. I wouldn't say he's the best villain, like number one, but he's pretty high up there when it comes to what he's done, what he's accomplished, but also he hasn't accomplished everything he wanted to, which doesn't make him exactly perfect. That villain, you know?
You mean to be inside Sasuke?
Stop.
That
To pickle
too.
Sasuke in a giant bucket thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
to pickle
too.
him.
Yep,
The
that
Sasuke
too, but
tub.
like even
man.
JK knows like he's batshit crazy because he would compare his own blood because they have the same birthday, and then like JK has the same birthday as Tsunade, so it's like that crazy, you know. So that's my and you cosplayed as Orochimaru, right, Hunky P?
I did cosplay as Orochimaru.
There you
Sexy
That's
go.
Orochimaru.
horrifying.
So there you go. It's that answer was meant for you. I was like, oh yeah, Hunky P.
Wow.
She performed as Orochimaru. There you go.
Hey.
That is a scary face. It's just like
Ooh.
it's like what Voldemort should have looked like. I feel like in the movies.
Honestly, yeah, I feel like Orochimaru is a pretty good pick.
But
Yeah.
But
man.
also Aizen's hotter.
I'm gonna say,
than
okay,
Orochimaru.
I'm gonna start off with Show Tucker.
Orochimaru
Is not
almost
not a
kinda
second
is like
place. Yeah, Show
Do you
Tucker's not
think
a
it should
second
be
place kind of villain.
more?
He is he was like the perfect like one thing that a good villain always needs is that turn moment, and he had the greatest turn moment, I feel like, in any medium, like comics, movies, television, anime, all the stuff. No, everybody remembers Show Tucker and hates him for what in the one episode, 2 episodes he's in. No, that means that is you are a highlight. You are a good villain.
Hmm.
What do you
Second
think?
place.
I'll have pretty compelling arguments.
But who's
Damn.
the hottest?
No.
Orochimaru is. I would feel like that person's very non-binary too.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we
You know
talked
what?
about this.
I was going to say that too, because like Orochimaru is also like, even though it wasn't like explicitly said like I am transgender, I am non-binary in the show, like Orochimaru has kind of been like adopted by the anime weebs in the queer community as like this is the non-binary.
Orochimaru is queer as fuck.
Super queer. Oh gosh, I have so many thoughts.
I mean, Show Tucker has a dad bod. I just want to add that just a little bit.
It was so okay with Orochimaru and stuff though. Yes, Orochimaru is a queer icon, but oh my god, I hate to get like academic and stuff, but I can't help but think like is Orochimaru's like existence part of like basically with Orochimaru, I can't help but think like oh, is Orochimaru as a character contributing to like the trope or the stereotype of like the queer villain, or like how does Orochimaru leverage his queer and or shape-shiftingness to perpetuate this whole idea that like queer people are deceptive, like queer people are trying to trick you, you know what I mean? Does that play into that? Oh, and also Show Tucker. Okay, you know what? Okay, I will pick Orochimaru, cause listen, Fullmetal Alchemist is up there with my favorite anime of all time, and I agree with JK's point. Show Tucker is not a number 2 villain. Show Tucker is like is very very very. I think he's more evil than number 2. That's why I'm not picking him. Oh yeah.
Well, I stand by my number 1, and I can't wait to say it. So
Okay,
there.
cool. I'm looking forward to hearing it.
But so number 2, Orochimaru. That is so hard to say. Say that 10 times fast. Alrighty. So Justine, you were judged last time. Would you like to go first for the best villain of all time?
Oh my god. Okay, cool. So at first I picked one that's super like silly. But now, okay, here. I'll ask our judge Noelle. Do you want me to pick my actual like serious choice as like the best anime villain, or do you want me to do my silly choice?
That's hard. Don't give me decisions. Wait, I have to make one anyway.
You can't play.
Go with your
You
heart.
can't. You can't play to the judge. That's cheating.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
go with your heart.
With
Yeah,
my
whatever
heart.
your
Okay,
heart
I'll go with my
desires.
heart. Okay, I think okay, I'll go for a serious route. Best anime villain, I think, is Light from Death Note. Cause because, on my rankings and stuff, in my head, I'm just like, okay, I always appreciate looking at like the complexity of villain stories, right? Like I always really like the ability to kind of like humanize these kinds of things. But like Light's a fucking dick the whole time. BH, he's such a dick. He has a god complex. He thinks he's better than everyone, and he's like, I'm gonna be the one to purify the world. Sit down. You're like, what, 16? So I think like and because of that reason, I'm unable to like relate to him, and I hate him as somebody who does not exist in the universe. So I'm putting him as the worst because I have no empathy for him whatsoever. There's
That's how
no
I feel about like every character in Gone Girl. I'm like,
You're a dick. Shut up. Sit down. Yeah.
that
Compelling.
movie. I've never been so mad at like all the characters in a movie before. I'm just like, all of you just need
Yeah.
to time out forever.
No, period.
Oh
I
man.
agree.
I would like to continue on that with mine. Speaking of god complexes, nobody likes someone with a god complex, right? Nobody likes a person who thinks they are infallible, they can't do wrong, and that their word is gold. However, I would like to one up the god complex with the other form of narcissism, a passive narcissist. I'm gonna go with Rumi from Perfect Blue. Anybody's watched the Perfect Blue movie? Anime.
So long.
In a nutshell, it's a psychological thriller about this girl. She is part of an idol group. She's a singer. I forget her name. Her name is Mima, and she's part of an idol group, and they all perform. And she's trying to make the career choice of transitioning from being an idol to an actress. So she's doing all this, and basically the movie just follows her disassociating. She starts losing it. She's trying to figure out whether or not she is Mima, the woman, the person, or her star character. And then Rumi, her manager, which major spoiler alert, it turns out Mima gets all these stalkers, all these crazy people that are trying to kill her, and do other things. And you go through this movie and you start learning that there's a website that has all of Mima's personal information and pictures being taken of her. And then you also learn that all of these stalkers that start coming after her end up dying in horrific ways. So then the movie goes on. I don't want to explain the whole movie to you, but then later it turns out that her producer, Rumi, is just batshit crazy. I mean, not to start villainizing mental disorders, but she has a very severe dissociative disorder, and she thinks she is the idol. She thinks she's her now. And she thinks now that the idol is becoming an actress, Rumi feels like she's dying and she's being betrayed as a human. So then she starts going out and murdering all of the stalkers who are trying to do bad things to Mima because she thinks they're trying to do them to her, and she murders them with an ice pick, the coldest way to kill anybody, stabs out their eyes, does horrible things to them, while Mima is just sitting there like being framed for murder because people think she's the one killing everybody. And then when the movie ends, you see Mima in a mental ward and she's making a recovery. But then later she turns to the camera and does an evil smile, which then leads the audience into thinking it's not Mima, it's Rumi still thinking she's Mima. And just by the end of the movie, you are fucked. You sit there and you don't feel safe. The whole movie basically, the pacing of the movie makes you feel very dissociated to begin with, but by the end of it you're like, I don't know who's good, I don't know who's bad, I don't know who's anybody now, I don't know what happened, but I think Rumi's crazy because everything she does is is illogical. There's nothing that she's doing that makes sense, and so it scares you as an individual because she needs help and she's not getting it, and she ends up killing a bunch of people in really, really bad ways, and it's just very unsettling. So I think Rumi makes a good contender for the worst villain.
Yeah.
Oh my!
Holy shit! Yeah, no, that's
I
a
want
good
to
pick.
watch
That's
it
a great
now.
movie. It's a
Me
fantastic
It's a
too.
great movie. You have to watch it.
I'm gonna bounce
Just
off.
letting you know there's warnings. There's a lot of like, R word and murdering and that stuff. So
Oh, okay.
be wary. It's a huge trigger warning for that movie.
Absolutely. Um, Khoki, would you like to go next, or would you like me to go next?
All right, I got you. All right, so
Okay.
my number one choice is the one, the only, and since this is for Noelle, since we're gonna talk about hot villains anyways, I picked Hunter x Hunter's Frollo Lucifer.
Oh,
He is absolutely. Oh my goodness! I'm so sorry. I forgot my
What's
phone
that?
is like. That's my cell phone text message tone. But anyways, Frollo Lucifer, literally head spider, will kill anyone that is in his way, or just kill anyone in general. It's like that episode where he literally was like, "We're just gonna do a mass bombing, like just kill everyone in this whole entire city." Like that was crazy, and super hot as well too. By the way, if I may add, I wouldn't mind dying
Wow.
that way.
but last time just seeing his face before dying.
Stop.
Man, so you guys went like really, really dark, and I'm gonna keep going though with that train. So I'm gonna cheat-ish here. There is a group of people who are really, really, really evil. But here's the thing: even though what they do is so terrible, they don't win in the end, ever. They never win, and that's okay because that's a little bit part of life. And they keep going no matter what. Their drive is always there. And not only that, they are two of the most talented people in this world, and nobody gives them credit. I'm gonna go with Jesse and James from Pokemon
No,
as the
Over!
absolute greatest,
excuse you.
greatest villains of all time. They're so great. Like honestly, they're just evil because they think it's cool and just to do it. Like they have no real grasp or concept of it. They go after a 10-year-old boy for 30 years who, and they just keep going. You know what? They have drive, okay? They have they have drive. They have like they have like weird intentions, but also they do it with class, and also they're both gorgeous. You know what? They're both hot no matter what they wear. So just saying, hot,
I'm so mad. I was gonna
awesome,
use that
Oh
one
my
as something
god.
else.
and
That's
iconic. Blast
my
off at the speed of light. Surrender now, prepare to fight. Meowth, that's right. Jesse James. I'm not going to count Meowth because I think that would be cheating too much. But Jesse James is like one entity. I feel like they're just one
Yeah.
entity.
I'm
So
so
oh my
mad.
god. That's why are you mad?
They were in my placing, just not there.
Oh, oh my gosh. That's ooh. Ooh. Oh no.
sorry for going too dark, by the way.
Too dark. So we have Light. We have Rumi. We have Lucifer and Jesse. Oh my god. Okay. Oh no.
That's a Squid Game episode I want to watch.
Oh my wow. That's oh man, knowing me, I can't help it. Because I'm the type of person that's like that too. Like, oh, the best villain isn't always just like someone who's good at being evil per se. um hmm. I can't. I have to choose Jesse and James. Like I can't.
Yes!
I have to choose Jesse and James. They're just so iconic. Like, and that's what makes them great because like everyone knows the original villains for Pokemon. You know, Team Magma can go suck a rock. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know.
Oh,
Big
man.
fat rock.
A big fat rock.
That's
I don't know
awesome.
why.
And now we have our top three: Kyubey, Orochimaru, and Jesse and James. And now we're gonna do our bottom two. That's amazing. And the judge will be first. Will be J.K. Noelle, you didn't get a pick last round. Who is the second worst anime villain of all time?
I didn't write my second one. I didn't have time. Can we skip me really quick?
Sure, absolutely. Okay, so I'm gonna go first because this is gonna be awkward because this person was actually set for the best. I don't like Light. I never really liked Light. And I think he's just I don't know, like he's evil, but I don't think it's like had anything to do like about like ugh, he just sucks. I'm sorry. Like, I mean, in every iteration I've ever seen, I'm like, man, Light sucks. Maybe this live action movie will be good. Oh no, it won't be. Maybe this Netflix here. Nope, it won't. Definitely won't be. And like, it's just you just kind of keep going. And Light just never really got like. I always just cared about L. I was like, it's like I never really cared about anything else. I thought L was just so awesome and the only good part of the Netflix show too. So. Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm so sorry to say this, Justine. I just never really liked Light. I thought I was like they could have gone so much, like more. I wanted him to be more relatable, and that's why, like what you said, he's not relatable, and that's why I'm like he's just not relatable because like he's privileged. He's like the embodiment of privilege, but yet like I still feel a disconnect, and so I'm like that kind of sucks. Anyways, so that's mine.
I think like okay, honestly though, Tyler, like the minute you said Team Rocket, I'm just like, yeah, my choice is Team Rocket too. Period. Like, I'm like, yeah, forget Light. Team Rocket is the best villain. So yeah, no, I totally see that. I can go next. If folks are still if that's okay. Yeah. So kind of going in the worst, I definitely wanted to. I think for this one, I put this as the worst, as in like this is the worst person alive. And I'm going to be I'm gonna be picking Ragyo Kiryuin from Kill la Kill. AK, have you seen Kill la Kill, JK? Okay, never mind. So basically, like the whole it's a very interesting anime. It's a lot.
Yeah.
But like at the crux of it, there are these like two girls who go to the same high school, Ryuko and Satsuki, who are basically Ryuko is definitely like the underdog, like middle class. Satsuki is from a very like rich and privileged life. And basically they fight each other when they get in possession of these like magical garments that turn into like armor and like give them like special powers that are drawn from their blood. Ragyo Kiryuin is Satsuki's mom, and she is like the worst person ever. She definitely I don't like her at all, not only because I can't like empathize with her. And part of the reason why I can't empathize with her is like she's completely driven by like greed, and she's completely driven by greed, completely driven by like money and power and prowess, and to the point where she like manipulates her relationships, like to her husband, her relationships to her daughter. She crosses a lot of really really bad boundaries that like and almost entertains like the requests of her underlings just to kind of leverage her power even more. So no sympathy for her. She's a crap person. She's a period. She's just a crap person. So I'm gonna pick her. And she thinks she's like super cool because she has rainbow hair and stuff. Her hair looks stupid as heck. So she wins.
I'll bounce off what she's saying. If she was in Steven Universe, she wouldn't be getting one of those cat ice creams.
No.
Oh, not at all.
Cookie cat.
Cookie cat. But yeah. Sorry, Justine.
Okay.
Alrighty. Khoki, you want to go next?
Yeah. My pick. I was just looking stuff up right now, but my pick is. I was trying to remember. I was like, oh no, I don't remember villains that well, but I do remember this one little show I grew up on called Yu-Gi-Oh. That you realize there were. You don't think that they were villains, but they were, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah. Um, Maximilian Pegasus was
Yeah.
was a joke of a villain. Like
Yugi boy. Yugi boy.
Yuki boy.
Cookie boy.
Yugi boy, my Yugi boy. He really didn't do much. Like you remember who he was, but then all he was really trying to do was like collect. He was just trying to collect the Millennium pieces or something like that, and just failed. He was just such a failed villain that couldn't do anything.
But his hair was on point though. Like
His hair was
Yeah.
beautiful, always on
amazing.
point. His
That-
tune cards were fabulous. But yeah, Maximilian Pegasus. Need I say more? Just a,
I like it.
just a
All right,
fail.
Noelle, did you figure out who is the second worst?
Yeah. Okay. So, have you watched One Punch Man, JK?
hell.
A couple episodes.
A couple episodes. Okay. Well, as we all know, One Punch Man is kind of like a commentary, I guess, on like or on all of like the superhero society tropes. And so yeah, so there's this villain. His name is Speedo Sonic, and and essentially imagine like he looks like Sasuke but with a ponytail, but has like a Naruto attitude towards being a villain. Of like, I want to be like, I'm like the best villain out here. But and he essentially he's like a ninja, but can like run really fast or move really quickly. And essentially in the show, we don't actually see him like do anything bad. Like we don't see him commit any crimes, but he like says he's a villain. And I think he even ends up in jail, but they never even tell us why. Maybe it was tax fraud or something. I don't know. But like
That would be the greatest reason ever.
like I doubt it was because he actually did something wrong. But like he literally wears the reason we are introduced to this character is because the main character, Saitama, meets him, and there are rumors going around that like this guy, even though he's like an underrated hero, like no one can defeat him. And then like Speed Sonic is like, I'm the best villain, I can defeat him. Obviously doesn't end up defeating him, but the way the fight ends up is that like Saitama doesn't even need to fight him. He just kind of extends his fist and not even in a punching motion. But Speedo Sonic is like, but then he just ends up like knocking his own balls into Saitama's hand. And the animation is literally his balls and then like getting pushed like in his latex. And it's just like, and then he's just like, oh, and then
It is as hot as she's explaining it.
yeah,
So.
okay. And then essentially the rest of the series is him encountering situations where his balls end up getting jangled somehow, and that's how his fights always end up. Our poor
Ball
husband
jangles.
wants to be the best villain,
Mr.
and is like,
Ball Jangles.
honestly, it's probably super capable, but in terms of villaining, it just ball jangles. That's it. So
Mr.
That's who
Ball
I
Jangles.
The
Okay.
dangle jangle.
dangle jangle.
Oh man.
He's got that dangle jangle.
All right, JK.
All right, so I mean, for me, how I'm gonna grade these villains, although I have not seen any of your villains, it's going to be off of what you word of mouth, what you have told me. For me, again, what I think a bad villain is someone who plays the role of a villain but doesn't really serve the purpose and the plot. If anything, I think a
Except for
bad
Jesse
villain
James.
is someone who moves everything forward very, very well and very, very logically. If you would like to know what my pick for second worst was, Team Rocket. Sorry, Tyler, because Team Rocket is literally there to make Ash stronger and better. and be a better hero. So if I have to take that into consideration for my own reasoning behind this, I will go with Maximilian Pegasus, because it seems like that's the kind of villain that's just there to make the hero stronger and to make everyone a better person.
It was mostly the hair,
The
wasn't
opposite.
It was the hair. It was the hair that got him.
I would like to go last, actually.
Oh,
I'll go first.
okay. All right.
I'll go first. All right. So, because my original number one worst was Team Rocket, I'm just
No.
gonna go. No, because we love them.
Kidding, I'm
We love them. That's why they were the worst. You know what? I'm just gonna flip it. And Giovanni, we've never seen that guy ever fight and really do anything. And that's their boss. Like, how are you gonna? We've never really seen him do much in the anime. So
He just sits. He just sits in a chair.
he just sits in a chair and pets his Persian. And like,
He's a CEO.
he's a CEO.
It's because nobody wants to work nowadays, right, guys? I'm just
No.
kidding.
So, he literally hasn't done anything. And if Team Rocket is the best, Giovanni has to be the worst.
Oh, that's pretty good. Alrighty, who wants to go next?
I will,
Okay.
because I'm passionate. So in Naruto, I know that he tends to not be considered like a villain per se, but I hate Sasuke. I hate him. I don't care that he's pretty. The reason why I guess I would say he's the worst villain is that, like, what kind of sucks is like his entire plan to be a villain was based on like a misunderstanding, like like someone just didn't tell him, like like no one just told him, and he's just out here. I'm like, I'm gonna be bad because I am misunderstanding this whole situation, and then he, like, in the end, spoiler alert for Shippuden, but like tries to be good, and like, but not even tries to be good. He's like, I'm gonna be he like hops in the place and is like, I'm gonna be Hokage to like all of his peers from before, and they're like, bitch, no, what the fuck? And then he's like, yeah, but I'm gonna be Hokage, and like, I'm gonna destroy the ninja system because they fucked me over. And then they're like, nah, fuck you, bro. You can't just come in here and try to be Hokage. And then,
That's
yeah.
what my mom told me last week.
But yeah, essentially, I don't know. I don't think, like, yeah, like the whole thing was like, oh, the whole point of Naruto is like, I'm chasing Sasuke, or like he's like the antagonist in a way. Yeah, he punched Sakura and shit, but like, I just think that in terms of like worst villains, it was just like you were really just only angsty. That was the only reason. Like, you could have, they really all could have been avoided. Like, you didn't have to get revenge. Right? You didn't have to, but here we are. And then even when he found out that it was a misunderstanding, he was like, I don't care, I'm gonna do it anyway. Like, you're dumb. Okay, that's it.
I liked it. Alrighty. Justine, JK has requested to go last. Would you like to go next?
Okay, this is hard. Okay, there was no rhyme or me trying to sound smart and like prepared throughout this whole freaking episode, when in reality I'm just like, I just want to make people laugh. I just want to show people that I know what I'm talking about. So I'm just gonna go back to what I know, and I'm gonna be honest. I don't know a lot of anime, but I did look it up on a very trustworthy source called Wikipedia. And it says that anime can be any animated content, regardless of origin. So, for my worst villain, I am going to pick someone who wants to be bad so badly, but has very like, I don't know, fickle tendencies. Not only because he at one point lost the will to do bad and just stopped committing crimes after that and had to be reinvigorated into doing bad things again, but his weakness and his kryptonite, for lack of a better term, is condiment that you use for fish and chips. So my worst villain is Man Ray from SpongeBob. Cause yeah, like I mean, he's just not. He's literally a parody of. I'm a comic book girl. He's a parody of Black Manta. And period. That's it. Man Ray. Need I say more? I'm sorry.
I love it.
Is
I
this
love
your
it.
wallet? Nope. That's not my
Oh,
wallet.
that's fantastic. That is fantastic. I feel like every episode has a SpongeBob reference in it, so thank you. Alrighty, in Khoki, or JK, sorry. JK, you requested to go last.
Yeah, so again, reiterating my criteria for what makes the worst villain is someone who does not perform the deed of a villain. Yeah, it's someone who, like my character is someone who pushes boundaries between what is possible and what is not. Someone who inspires, someone who is unafraid to take charge and do what needs to be done, to push the boundaries of human knowledge and the abilities of what man can achieve. Yeah? And not only that, to be very accepting and to be a safe space for other people who really, really want to express something that others might not feel is a very upstanding choice in life. So my candidate for the worst villain is Sho Tucker from Full Metal Alchemist, because he is a doctor that is pushing what we can do with alchemy, and everybody else is just too worried about, the ethics behind it. He has created a fucking miracle, yeah? His daughter never got attention from anyone to begin with. The most attention she ever fucking got was when she got mixed with the fucking dog. And look, they can make a dog talk. Sho Tucker made a dog talk. He can push our boundaries and push what is possible. He's a hero. A hero. No one liked
so dead.
Dad bod.
So dead.
Okay, so I have Sasuke, Sho Tucker, Giovanni, and Man Ray. I love all of them. Man Ray, unfortunately, great pick, but I'm not gonna pick.
It's okay.
Man, okay, I have one that I really want to pick, but then I feel like everybody would be like, no, come on. But okay, I won't pick Giovanni because he is the worst. He's terrible, but he did scare me as a kid, and I feel like that has weight to it, though. When they just showed his whole face in the Pokemon movie, I was like, oh shit, oh my god, I was like, no, and he looked normal too, there was nothing. He just looked like Danny DeVito, and I was just like, oh, he's really not that bad, but I was still terrified. But so Sho Tucker and Sasuke, I just think Sho Tucker is a great villain. So I hate Sasuke so much. Sasuke is the reason why I stopped watching Naruto. So Sasuke is just that person I never would want to hang out with, and so I'm gonna pick Sasuke as the worst anime villain of all time.
Thank you.
And
even though I cosplayed him.
Great.
And with that, our journey has ended. We have our top three best is Kyubey, Orochimaru, and Jesse and James, and the bottom two are Maximilian, Pegasus, and Sasuke. Before we go, though, where can everybody find you guys? Justine, where can they find you on the internets?
Yes. Oh my gosh. So I have a lot of social media accounts. I'm sorry, but if you want to follow my adventures as Justine, follow me at Dork Magician Girl on Instagram. If you want to follow me in drag, follow me at MixMX Sam Pagita to see my drag king journey. And if you want to follow me and Noelle's podcasting journey, follow us at Fandom Femmes. Perfect.
Alrighty, and Khoki.
Yes, on my Instagram handle, you can find me at okidoki_Khoki. And if you want to follow the TikTok, I think it's Monkey Face Asian. Not too sure if I changed that to okidoki_Khoki, but I think that's what it is. And my OnlyFans is... No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah!
We'll see. In the works.
Listening.
Oh, man. Noelle.
Hello. If you like to follow me as Noelle, you can follow me at Noelle Funtanilla. Yeah, I'm not spelling that for you. Or if you would like to follow me as a cosplayer and Twitch streamer, you can follow me at nogeechi18. And once again, yes, Fandom Fans on everything. See us on
Everything.
Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all the social medias. But yes, thank you for having us.
Of course. And JK.
Hey, if you want to know where you can find me in the gutter next to my house, probably petting all the stray cats. If you would like to follow me on social media, you can follow me on my Instagram, which is at Littrellman, which is spelled Littrelman. There's a story behind it. I don't need to tell you, but yeah.
Absolutely. And all links will be in the description of this episode. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and like. We would really appreciate it. New episode of our main series will be out very soon. And yeah, thank you everybody for being here. Keep on ranking. Have a wonderful week. Wear a mask and GGG.
Grand Geek Gathering.